The lights were bright, the stakes were sky high, and the Boston Celtics were one game away from forcing a Game 7. But when the final buzzer sounded in Madison Square Garden, it wasn't a victory horn for Boston. It was the death knell of a season that once held championship aspirations. Final score: New York Knicks 119, Boston Celtics 81. A 38-point drubbing that sent shockwaves through the NBA world. At the heart of Boston's flatlining Game 6 effort, Jaylen Brown, former All-Star, current franchise cornerstone, and one half of the Celtics' billion-dollar duo. Brown was the only Celtic who showed flashes of urgency, fire, and heart. But even that wasn't enough. His final stat line: 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 8 of 20 shooting, and a brutal -30 plus-minus. Oh, and he fouled out in the third quarter, and just like that, the Celtics' playoff run came to a sputtering, deflating halt. The numbers behind the narrative: Brown logged 32 minutes before his 6th foul sent him to the bench for good. His 3 for 9 shooting from deep was serviceable, and he did try to facilitate with 6 assists. But the problems were clear: 7 turnovers, poor shot selection, and a visible sense of frustration as the Celtics trailed by double digits most of the game. Via StatMuse, Jaylen Brown in Game 6, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, -30, fouled out in the third quarter. In a vacuum, that stat line might look like a solid, if unspectacular, night. But context is everything, and the internet didn't hold back. Twitter unleashes its verdict. As the game spiraled out of control, fans, analysts, and trolls took to social media to deliver their verdict on Jaylen Brown, and they didn't pull punches. Keith Smith offered a balanced take. Credit to Jaylen Brown. He gave it all he had tonight. Wasn't all great, but he showed up to play on a night when most of the Celtics haven't had anything going. That's the generous angle. Many others weren't as kind. Suppersome D-Rads tweeted, "Jaylen Brown fouling out in 3 quarters?" 8-20, Santiago Cote didn't hold back. Jaylen Brown showed that he can't be the best player on a championship team. And that's okay. He's a great player, but just not worth that contract. And then came the wave of memes, sarcasm, and raw frustration. At DFarmer 4, Jaylen Brown didn't go out like Harden, but fouling out in the third is crazy. Locked up Jabe. Only one who even looks like he cares. Shout out Jaylen Brown. Caphead Guck. Jaylen Brown, #1 option. Hoops is going to be the most empty 25 PPGSN ever. Then there was the savage blow from at Hater Central, turning Brown's stats into a punchline. Jaylen Brown in Game 6, 20 points, 8-20, FG7 turnovers 6, fouls number. One option, next year, in Beijing. Even SportsCenter weighed in on the moment that broke Celtics fans' spirits. Jaylen Brown has fouled out in the third quarter of Game 6. It was a moment that said it all. A lone fighter on a sinking ship. Say what you will about Jaylen Brown. Yes, the turnovers were ugly. Yes, the fouls were reckless. But effort? Grit? He had it. When Jason Tatum looked disengaged, when the Celtics bench offered nothing but shrugs and missed assignments, when the Knicks smelled blood and pounced, Brown was the lone soldier trying to swing the sword, even if it was dull. There were sequences where he fought through double teams, where he threw down hammer dunks in transition, where he tried to will his teammates into rhythm, but it felt like he was playing chess while everyone else played checkers blindfolded. He wasn't perfect, but he was present, and in a game like this, presence mattered. What this game means for Jaylen Brown's legacy. Jaylen Brown is entering rarefied air in Boston. He's been with the Celtics for 9 seasons, weathering rebuilds, coaching changes, playoff heartbreaks, and finals appearances. He signed a Supermax deal that raised eyebrows across the league, some calling it an overpay, others seeing it as a commitment to continuity. But with the Celtics falling flat on their face in the postseason again, the questions are back, louder than ever. Can Jaylen Brown be the alpha? Is he a true number one option or a high-level number two? And what does Boston do now with two max players who can't seem to close the deal? Because let's be real, this wasn't just a loss. This was an embarrassment, a 38-point humiliation on national television against a Knicks team missing key pieces, on a night when everything was on the line. And while Brown showed fire, it was also his recklessness that got him ejected before the game was even over. It was his decision-making that put Boston in deeper holes. It was his name trending for all the wrong reasons. The bigger picture for Boston. This isn't just about Jaylen Brown. The Celtics, as a whole, looked like a team that had run out of gas, ideas, and chemistry. Jason Tatum's performance was a ghost story. The bench was a black hole, and head coach Joe Mazzulla completely